to the Survival Guide to Lent. I hope that everybody's doing well, enjoying the beautiful spring weather. We are almost to Easter. I know it seems really crazy to think about, but we are on our 11th episode of the Survival Guide to Lent. Only two more left. And um, during those last two episodes, we're going to be kind of coming out of the desert a little bit because we're getting very close to Easter. This Sunday is Palm Sunday, and I hope you'll watch our worship service. We've got some fun things planned. Today, we're going to be adding another item to our backpack. And so far in our backpack, we have 11 items, well, 10 items, and we're going to be adding our 11th item. Today's item is a mirror, okay? And I happen to have this handy dandy compact mirror. It's got two. Did you expect that one in a survival kit? So it's got two lenses in it. One's for close up work, and one is for just regular reflection. And what this can be used for so many things. Fun story. So my kids were little, we used to go to the beach an awful lot. We love going to the beach still. And on a sunny day, I used to love to play with my. I used to have all these little, like cars, and we'd have people, and we'd make these little cities in the sand, and have all kinds of activities going on. And one of the things we always like to do was look for very small things in the sand with a magnifying glass. So we had a magnifying glass, and as you may or may not know, when you take a magnifying glass in this on a sunny day, the rays of the sun go through the magnifying glass and it intensifies. So like all these beams are channeled down into a single, like a laser. Well, I had the magnifying glass resting on my leg, and the kids were playing in the sand and playing with their little people and their cars and stuff. And my legs started to get really hot, and I'm like, what is going on? I looked down, and the magnifying glass is burning a hole in my pants because of the channeled light. Let that be a lesson to you. Take the sun and its reflective qualities. Uh, Make sure you use them to your advantage, not your detriment. So we have uh, this mirror because you can signal with it. You see how it just flashes in the sun? Well, one of the things you have the most of in the desert is sun, right? During the day. So you can flash this and people can see it from miles away. So you can create attention. Hey, I'm here. I'm here. Also, if you reflect the light, especially when you have two beams like this, and you can reflect it just right down into a pinpoint, you can start a fire. So if you don't have your matches, or if you've used them all up, you can use this mirror to start a fire or create, visibility. So it's a very handy item. Um, you might not have thought about that, but if you have one in your purse, I always try to keep a mirror in my purse for various reasons, but man, it can really come in handy. So think about that. Um, there's another thing you can use a mirror for. Getting around to the part of when we're talking about Lent and how we structure our lives, what we can do to improve, and how we can take some of this time that we're in and use it for the good of all people, but also for the good of our souls and ourselves. So a mirror is an reasonably accurate reflection of what's being reflected. So if I look in this mirror, I see crystal. Now I don't see the way I looked when I was 20. That's for a photograph. I see crystal at my current age. I'll just leave it at that. And I see all the lines. I see that my makeup is sort of not so great. I have a little wear under my things. I have little imperfections in my face. I have things that I definitely need to take care of, like my nose is running a little bit, so I'm going to blow my nose. Um, excuse me. All those things. It's pretty accurate, but what do we see? Actually, what do we see? I mean, the mirror reflects the truth. But what do we see when we look in the mirror? Are you looking at who God sees, or are you looking at who you see? And we're often our worst judges. Do you see the failures in your life? Do you see the successes in your life? Do you see too much success and not enough improvement needed? Or do you not have an accurate view of yourself? Or do you have too accurate a view? I mean, are you just too truthful about who you are to the point where maybe you don't like what you see? Hmm. All these questions are questions that we can think about and pray about, but also it's a great time during Lent to reflect on who you are. Yeah, we're using that word reflect right there. Um, how do we what do we want to do with our lives? What do we want to be different about our lives? How can we improve as people, as Christians, as human beings, just on this planet together? How can we do it better? I think it's a really important time to reflect on this. We're in a really strange historic time right now. We are in Lent, and it's just a great time to think about what you can do to change your world. There's certain things you'll never be able to do. Um, Maybe if you're not a medical person, you're not going to invent the cure for cancer, but there probably is somebody out there that could. Pray for them. Pray for that person to come forward and use their God given talents to create that cure for cancer. Hmm. Maybe you'll be the person who says hi to, there's that famous story about someone showing kindness to another person and preventing them from dying by suicide. And this is Suicide Prevention Month in our country. Just that little bit of kindness and noticing when somebody is not quite who they normally are. Maybe they're flying under the radar. Maybe they don't want to talk. Maybe they sleep a lot. Maybe they're angrier than usual, drinking more, picking up bad habits, being obsessive, gambling too much. Whatever it is, keep an eye out for that. Be that person that they can come to and um, be who they really are and be vulnerable and say, I'm in trouble. I really need help. It could be that little bit of acknowledgement of what's going on that could save a life. And that could be you that did that. You don't have to be a doctor or somebody really important to save a life. I mean, somebody that I shouldn't say important, everyone's important to God, everyone, but someone who society views as more important than someone else. We're all here. God put us all there. You could be that person that saves a life. Imagine that. So I hope you'll think about what your reflection really says. Who are you really? Don't look at all the things, all the judgments that society or you put on yourself. Think about who God created you to be. Everybody, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Some of you I will probably see this weekend. I'm going out to do some deliveries on Saturday. If I don't, I hope you all are well. Lots of love to you. And I hope you have a wonderful Palm Sunday. Looking forward to worshiping online with you. And I'll see you all next week for our final two installments of the Survival Guide to Lent. Take care, everybody. Bye. Okay. Oh. Can she do it? Can she do it? She can